welcome to Curiosity.
The idea of a train ride might evoke romantic moments and magical atmospheres, but in this video, adrenaline will be the leading factor, with trains even whizzing by within inches of people. Such as in Thailand, where one of the nation's largest fresh fish markets has been built directly on the tracks of the Maeklong railway line. Stores and goods are located at the edge of the railroad, and the only place left for walking is right on the rail tracks themselves. When a train approaches, the market stalls and awnings are moved back to free up space for the train, to then reinstate everything as soon as the train is passed. Everything is so perfectly organized that the train runs flush with the goods left beside the tracks, brushing past people, and sometimes even passing over some vegetables for sale. The history of this market dates back to the early 1900s, when it was established as a freight terminal. It was later converted into a passenger line, and it has grown to become now a popular place for tourists who come here from all over the world to experience this unique thrill. Although nothing equals the vibrant atmosphere of Maeklong, there are other markets incredibly built over a railroad track, such as in southern Peru. In Vietnam, a small alley tucked away in one of Hanoi's back streets has become notorious for the trains passing so close to the houses that people are forced to huddle against the walls to avoid being run over. This small street has become so famous that one day in 2019, there were so many people, the train had no space left to transit. Further close calls and emergency stops caused by reckless people who wanted to take a last-second selfie in the middle of the rails have caused tourists to be temporarily banned from this site. India is home to the railway bridge deemed to be the most dangerous in the world. Completed in 1914, the Pamban Bridge was constructed in one of the most corrosive environments in the world, making its preservation a real challenge. On top, the area is plagued by strong winds that sway the trains and is prone to cyclones that could even derail them, as happened in 1964 when a 25-foot or 8-meter wave completely swept over a train, killing more than 200 passengers. India has also the most dangerous railway network, as nearly 15,000 people lose their lives each year as a result of accidents. Attempts to cross tracks at unmanned locations, or people falling out of crowded trains, which even at full speed often travel with the doors fully open. Not to mention that travelers face daily fear of being attacked or harassed on the train. Despite being the fourth largest railway network in the world and transporting 8 billion passengers annually, safety and prevention systems are often minimal or even completely lacking, with a fleet of very old and poorly maintained trains. Notwithstanding the high number of accidents, the Indian government has failed to make any significant improvements to the safety of the rail network. A reality that clashes quite a bit with the fact that India leads the world's offer of a luxury trains for tourists. Equipped with any comfort, not only can you eat on board with crystal glasses and gold cutlery, but for $5,000 a night, you can also relax in a lavish spa in one of the wagons. Other countries in Asia have dilapidated or poorly developed rail networks, such as Nepal, where there is only one very short railway line connecting the capital to the Indian border. Staying in Asia, even in the modern Singapore, there are some dangerous practices still in use, like the manual token exchange as a signaling system for single-track railroads, often carried out at high speed. The Death Railway in Thailand was built from 1940 to 1943 by the Japanese, who had occupied the area during World War II to supply troops during the Burma campaign. It unravels through dense jungles and treacherous mountains and got its infamous name from the huge number of people, more than 100,000, who lost their lives during its construction due to the multitude of diseases, poor hygienic conditions, as well as overwork associated with starvation. In Myanmar, the current name of Burma, we also find the Goi Tek Viaduct, opened in 1900 to help expand the influence of the British Empire in the region. All the constituent parts were built in the United States and shipped on a vessel. It was at the time the tallest railway bridge and still one of the largest in the world. At one spot, the top of the bridge is even 820 feet, or 250 meters from the river below. The Devil's Nose Railway in Ecuador was completed in 1905 after a 33-year construction period. The main challenge was to build a rail line that could tackle an almost sheer mountain. Traveling on this line ensures a unique and unforgettable experience even in the modern day, as you will have to undertake the route on the roof of an old boxcar. The Tren de las Nubes in Argentina can offer the breathtaking experience of traveling above the clouds, being one of the highest railways in the world. The complexity of the track makes this railroad very dangerous, with 2 derailments right near the peak just in the past few years. Nevertheless, the most dangerous railway is probably the one in the Mauritanian desert, connecting the inland iron mines with ports. People can ride atop the ore hopper cars, and for many is the only means of transportation available. Although totally free, the journey can last 12 hours with extreme temperatures as well as sudden braking that can sometimes cause fatal falls. Speaking of records, Switzerland not only has the steepest rack railway in the world with a gradient of 48%, but also the steepest cable railways. Especially the Gelma, being open air can ensure an almost adrenaline-pumping experience, more typical of a roller coaster. Constructed in 1926, it has a slope 106 degrees, recently surpassed by the nearby Stoesbaan, which reaches a maximum gradient of an even 110 degrees. Although all flatlands, Cambodians face the opposite problem. Indeed, the local government wasn't providing certain areas with efficient public transportation. They thus decided to take advantage of an abandoned railroad. Despite traveling at high speeds, a bamboo train often has no brakes and just a basic wooden pole for controlling the speed. If 2 nori, as called by the locals, meet from opposite directions, the one with fewer passengers is disassembled and reassembled to clear the way for the other. In the German city of Wuppertal, despite its apparent futuristic look, there is the oldest elevated railway in the world. Built in the late 19th century, geological conditions in the area did not allow for the construction of an underground line at the time. Being suspended above a river, though, any derailment could turn into tragedy, as unfortunately happened in 1999. Another example of a weird railroad is the one that incredibly crosses the runway at Gisborne Airport. Completed in 1900, the White Pass and Yukon route connects Alaska to Canada and was built using more than 450 tons of explosives during the Klondike Gold Rush as a faster way to reach the gold fields. Still, nowadays is an overhanging route with scary old wooden bridges and narrow tunnels, climbing in a very short time a good 3,000 feet or 1,000 meters. There are railways that, even with some thrills, are able to provide great emotions. While in Switzerland, the Glacier Express seems to almost disappear into a mountain. One legend has it that a couple kissing on the tracks of this natural tunnel of verdant trees will make their dream of love come true. In Korea, on the other hand, every year during the cherry blossom season, some train stations are so crowded with people that trains can no longer run. Some railroads have made their peculiarity a record. The Trans-Siberian Railway, connecting Moscow to Vladivostok across icy Siberia, is the longest railway line in the world. Not too far in Tibet, the Tongula Station holds the record of being the highest in the world at 16,600 feet or 5,000 meters. Waiting for a train in this almost deserted area with prohibitive temperatures could really scar you forever. Subscribe to Curiosity for more incredible videos, and don't forget to activate the notification bell to always be updated. Check out also these incredible videos. Thank you for watching.